Training camp is coming upon us, and there are players that really need to make a desperate push to make this roster. So I'm going to go over the 5 players on my list that really desperately need to get on this roster as of right now. Now, this ranking system is not between worst to best, best to worst. This is just 5 players in general, what I see fit of what players really need to make a big step in training camp to make this roster. Number 1, it's going to be Sidney Jones. Okay, Sidney Jones drafted in 2017, was supposed to be a top cornerback. We drafted him in the 2nd round, tearing his Achilles on his pro day, and it really hasn't done much, guys. Really hasn't. In my opinion, he really hasn't done much. They put him on the inside, the outside, has been injured numerous times as it is already. The only good thing that happened last year, he became a situational cornerback where he would go into games on 1 or 2 plays here and there, and he actually at the end of the year made some pretty big plays. I have to say that Sidney Jones came in and did some good things. But as a consistent corner to stay healthy and cover guys on a regular basis to do well, I'm not really high on him, but would it be nice for him to actually do something, make this team become the corner that he should be? Now, do I believe he's going to be the corner that I expect him to be? Probably not, but I really push for the guy. I cheer for the guy, and hopefully he could do something to make this roster. Obviously, cornerback has been a big issue, hence why we went to free agency. We got Darius Slay with we traded 2 picks for Darius Slay, made him one of the highest paid corners in the league, and then go after another corner like Nikel Roby-Coleman that can cover the that could be in the slot and do some good things there. So Sidney Jones, obviously, you have that cornerback 2 spot that's still opened up, and Sidney Jones has it for the taking, but will he get it? I don't know, but I'm pushing for the guy to do something. Number 2 is going to be defensive end Derek Barnett. Okay, his rookie year was fantastic. Obviously, a few good plays, had 4 to 6 sacks, something like that in between. And honestly, Derek Barnett has been injured numerous times. And with Derek Barnett, when you get injured, you got to work yourself to be 100% when you get back into the mix of everything. He has missed some tackles. He's had little knick-knack injuries, which has kind of stopped him from being a very good player. Is he playing like a first-round pick right now? Not really. He's playing like a third-round pick right now, a situational defensive end in a scheme right now. But I'm pushing for this guy. He actually went to a camp in Tennessee this past offseason, a defensive line training camp where he worked his tail off and wants to be worth that first round pick that the Eagles drafted him. So I am pushing for Derek Barnett to do something this season. Obviously, he will start on one side opposite of Brandon Graham, but you have Josh Sweat as the rotational guy. So honestly, I don't know at what point the Eagles might add another defensive end before training camp, but as of right now, Derek Barnett needs to step up badly, and I hope that his sack numbers do actually go up, and he just does very well. So I'm pushing for the guy. Number 3 is going to be Genard Avery. Now, Genard Avery was we traded for Genard Avery from the Browns last year at the trade deadline, 4th round pick, and the Browns fans were kind of pissed that they let him go. The Eagles actually picked him up and on contract for 2 more years. So this year in 2020, it is his contract year. Okay, seen a lot of videos of Genard Avery working out. With the Browns, he played outside linebacker. With the Eagles, 4-3 wide 9, he will play defensive end. Working his tail off. He's got great explosiveness off the line. He's nasty. He's got a swag to him. And you know what? I'm really pulling for this guy to do something now. Does it mean the Eagles will sign another defensive end to big money? I don't know, but I think the future actually holds Genard Avery and Derek Barnett as which one is going to be that future defensive end for the Philadelphia Eagles, or maybe it could be both. Who knows at this point? But as of right now, Genard Avery is going to be a rental for 2020. The Eagles will just have to figure it out after the year. Obviously, with the salary cap, the Eagles are over $50 million, which is kind of crazy. But Howie's very good with the numbers, not really worried about it. So I'm pushing for Genard Avery to do something, and I'm happy that he's back. The 2 times the Eagles actually threw him in a football game last year, he made both tackles all over the ball. He's always getting in the backfield. He's strong. His bend is really nice around the edge. So I'm hoping that he does something. Number 4 is going to be Will Parks, safety. Okay, one of the most underrated signings in my opinion, just because he's a corner with safety background, a safety with corner background on the Denver Broncos last year, and he moved all over the field, guys. He's pretty much played every position on defense besides the defensive line. He's literally played outside corner, inside corner. He's played an outside linebacker spot, free safety, strong safety. You name it, Will Parks has been there. I think he's underrated because of his skill set, very diverse. Like I said, can move him anywhere you want him to. Jim Schwartz is going to have a lot of fun with Will Parks on the field. Obviously, you lose Malcolm Jenkins, so you need that moving piece, moving all over the defense, and kind of depending on what offenses we do face, he will be put it in. Obviously, you have 3 safety sets the Eagles do with all those guys, so he might get some playing time, but obviously he's going to play somewhere. He's going to be put somewhere, and I think he's more of a product type guy where he can go to a team, and if there's good guys around him, he'll actually play very well. So I'm pushing for Will Parks to do something. I think he desperately needs to make this roster. I know you guys are saying, well, he should make the team, but you never know at this point. So I'm hoping Will Parks does a good job. Number 5 is going to be the entire linebacker core. Yes, not one guy, not 2 guys. The whole entire linebacker core. The biggest weakness on our defense for the Philadelphia Eagles is the linebacker core. A lot of unknowns, a lot of unproven players. Nathan Gary's been on the roster, a safety turd from Nebraska, to a linebacker that is kind of fully molded into that guy we really wanted. Jatavis Brown from the Chargers. Not much playing time. The stats don't come out, but played very well coming in for the Chargers for some linebacker injuries. Contract was up, and Chargers did not want to pay him, so there is a lot more that he could do for this team if he pushes himself and really puts the work in. TJ Edwards, pretty much an undrafted linebacker from Wisconsin, has done a pretty good job. Special teamer, and has come in for some plays for linebacker, and Doug and Howie seem pretty high on TJ Edwards coming into 2020, so hopefully he does make it. Davion Taylor that we drafted in the 3rd round is a very good player. Good backfield recognition, great blitzer, physical, big body, barely gets pushed back. Coverage is not that great, but could be a very good linebacker for us also. Sean Bradley, we drafted from Temple, another guy with leadership quality. Could probably most likely be the best coverage linebacker on our team. Obviously, we lost that when Jordan Hicks was gone. So Sean Bradley could come in and do that. So linebacker is a lot of unknown, a lot of unproven, probably the weakest part of our defense like it has been. Releasing Nigel Bradham at the end of the year, which I was really surprised, which kind of told me they really want to fix the linebacker position. It's very young, and they're hungry, and the spots are open. So can't wait to see what happens there. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to add 2 more to this list. Left tackle Andre Dillard has to make a huge step. Okay, drafted, not getting his, obviously drafted as a first rounder. Eagles move up to go get him. And, Jason Peters comes in and pretty much fills in for 2 years. And Andre Dillard only has, 3 starts under his belt. Played right tackle for 1 game, got blown up. And, I thought his confidence just went straight down through the gut. But now with Jason Peters signed, probably moving to right guard, Andre Dillard will play left tackle this season. Now, will he play well? I hope so. I think as of right now, Andre Dillard is not a good player because of the reps. And it's not his fault. It's the front office. It's the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's Doug Peterson's fault for not putting this guy on the field when they should have put him on the field. But I think 6 games from now, 5 or 6 games from now into the season, I think Andre Dillard could be one of the best left tackles in the league, okay? And Jeff Stoutland, the offensive line coach, will put him in check and has done very well with a lot of guys. And Andre Dillard, I have a lot of praise for, and I think the beginning's going to be a little rough, but I think down the stretch, Andre Dillard will be just fine. From cornerback, now safety, Jalen Mills. New number, new position, new year. Okay, Jalen Mills went to free agency, couldn't really find a team, wanted to come back to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles re-signed him to a 1-year deal, but not as a cornerback, as a safety. Now, I don't know what's going to come out of this. Obviously, Jalen Mills hasn't played safety since LSU, since he's been in college, since he was drafted, pretty much turned to a cornerback in the NFL. So going back to his roots in that position could help him out. He could be a better safety than a corner guy. As a 7th-round pick, Jim Schwartz has actually got great worth out of Jalen Mills. Now, Jalen Mills isn't a fantastic cornerback, but for a 7th-round pick to play like that, where he does make some, obviously the pass rush probably benefited some plays, but the way he does play, he does lose some. But for a 7th-round pick to start for your football team, and the way he doesn't give up, and that's the one thing about Jalen Mills I do respect. The guy does not give up. The guy comes back and makes plays, and even if he gives up a big gain or whatnot. But going into a safety position going back to his roots, obviously you have Kavon Wallace that we drafted that's going to be trying to take his job. Rodney McLeod comes back for 1 year. You have Rudy Ford, you have Craig James. Probably won't be on the team, obviously. But Jalen Mills has the chance to start a new era for his career, to make a name for himself in a new position, and to probably play very well So if you draft a guy like Jalen Mills that was very good at safety, but hey, he actually played corner as well, but his prime position is actually safety, you have a huge chance to get some good worth out of him. And maybe if he does well this year, you could have Kevon Wallace and Jalen Mills starting as your two safeties for the future, and that's pretty damn exciting. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. I think these are the players that really have to really desperately. These are just for the desperate players. I'm not talking about the new receivers that came in or Jalen Reagor or anything like that, okay? Because I expect them to play well, obviously, but this is just my opinion of who is literally on their last finger off, going off the edge of a cliff right now and need to make that push to get on top of it. So let me know what you guys think about who else should be making it. In your opinion, leave it in the comment section down below. I will see you guys later. Shake Squad up. Fly, fly.